In this video, I'm going to go over the editor. I'm just going to do a high-level view of the editor because this is something where we could spend quite a bit of time, but I want to make sure you guys are familiar with the controls. So to get to a question, there's a few different ways to do it. You can go through the lesson history here, or you can go through the lesson plan. So for now, I'm just going to use the lesson plan. So from here, I'm going to go to operations and algebra, and I'm going to go to chapter 1, and I'm just going to go ahead and open up lesson 1. And then from here, I'm just going to click this part so you can see all the different questions. And then from here, there's two things. Actually, the first area I'm going to go to is details. So within the details, this is where you can set the standards. So if you have a Common Core standard over here, you can filter by first grade. And then if you needed to update the standards, you can go ahead and select which one you want, or you can delete it. And then let's just say I add this for the time being. I hit update, and now this standard will be here. So I'm just going to actually go through and just take that out for now. And I'm going to hit update so we don't confuse the data in here. Then the other area of this detailed here is this is how you can move questions from lesson to lesson. So it always has to fall inside a lesson. So you can't move a question into a chapter just because there's not a place for it. So you have to actually be inside the lesson view. And then from here, are there going to be a quick link to the other questions within the lesson? And then don't worry about this published status and this about here. So that's something that we're using internally for now. But if you want to get to the editor, or sorry, let me step back. Any changes you want to make in here after you're done making the changes to the questions or maybe comments, you can go ahead and hit update up here or update down here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the editor. And what this is going to do is this is going to go ahead and open up the actual editor for this question. So from here, the editor, there's a lot of buttons, there's a lot of controls. This is going to be an evolution. So you'll be seeing updates over time. There might be new buttons, new features. If there is, we're going to put that inside the news tab. So this way you can know what changes are being done. So in the editor, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start from the top. And within the top over here, there's a menu. So if you click on the menu, this will take you back home to the dashboard. And then if you want to view the details, this will take you to the details part of the question. And then if you want to view the question list, if you click on this, this will take you back to the question list. So I'm just going to hit that. So you're taken back over here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on editor again. Excuse me. And then so from here, again, you can change the board size. So on here, this is the default size, but if you want, you can go large, which you can see that it's changing there. And if you go vertical, then you'll see that it's changing there. So I'm just going to put it back to default and hit close. The next thing going to be over here is going to be the duplicate questions. So let's just say if you want to create a copy of the question, because we originally wrote these questions, but if you want to make copies, you can duplicate it and then go ahead and make the modification. So this way you can still have the original question. That's up to you guys if you want to modify the existing ones or create new ones. And then over here is going to be the help. So if you click on help, these are the keyboard shortcuts. This is going to be the tip, so this will be changing. And then these text events has to do with the animations, how we control the animations on the screen. So I won't dive into this right now, but there are animations that you can do with objects. And so the help menu, again, if there's something in the help menu that's confusing or not in there that you need, go ahead and reach out to us and let us know. And then that way we can go ahead and get more information to make your job easier. So I'm going to close this. Now over here, this is going to be a copy or a duplicate function for an object. So let's just say that I selected this object. If I hit this button, it's going to go ahead and copy it. So I'm just going to delete that for now. And this one over here, this is going to be a pointer. So I can use it to select multiple objects. Okay. So now one thing is that if you go over here, you select multiple objects, this is going to be an alignment tool. So you can change the alignment, whether this is going to be top aligned, bottom aligned, left aligned, right aligned on here. And so, for instance, I might want to say this is going to be, well, it's all square right now, so it's not a good example. But let's just say that, if you wanted to anchor a set of objects, either by the top or bottom, you can just follow. So the black bar is always going to be the anchor. And then this space X is going to space out, depending if you want 100 or, for instance, you want 50. Okay, so actually, I don't know where it was. Maybe 30. Okay, we'll go with 30 for now. So This box over here, this is going to be a shape box. This is something we're playing with right now, work in progress. So if you go and create shapes, you can create as many shapes as you want, but what you want to do is hit the escape key. Now the escape key will get you out of the shape creation mark, and now you can go ahead and manipulate the shapes how you want. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit delete over here for these ones because we don't need it. And then this one is going to be a line tool. So you can click around and you can create lines however you want. If you want to create perfect lines, you can go ahead and use the shift key and it'll go ahead and create perfect lines. So I'm going to hit escape again, and escape will go ahead and select this line. I'm going to delete it on here. Over here is going to be the search. So if you have a question ID that you want to get to, you can just type in the question ID and it'll just go ahead and bring it right up. So I'm just going to type in 15165, which is this question. I'm going to hit import and it'll just bring you right into this, the question that you're trying to get into. And then from here is going to be the right comment. So you can just go ahead and type in whatever comment that you want. This is a running comment in here, so just don't overwrite the existing comments in there. Just put it, just hit below and just go ahead and type here. Here is the updated comment. And just do this for now. So we're working on this to make it more robust. For now, it's very, very simple. So there's only one comment per question that we have right now. And then going over here at the top, this is going to be saved. So any changes you make, there is no autosave currently right now. This is something we're discussing on how to implement the autosave feature. We actually disabled it simply because we don't want people messing with the questions and then next you know they don't want to save it. So if you don't want to save it, and let's say you made some modifications to it, all you have to do is simply just go back to the questions detail or go back home or question list, just click out of here, and then it's going to ask you if you want to save it or not. Just say no. So for instance, if I move this around and then I click on this, it's going to ask me leave site, changes you have made may not be saved. So you can hit cancel. And so I'm just going to put this back in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit save. So now when I hit save, you'll see a data save alert box come up. Now the next thing over here is going to be the label. So you see how it says free ID, draggable. If you click on this, it'll actually hide the labels just to make it a little bit cleaner. So when you're messing with it or playing with the object, so if you want it to be a simple interface or a cleaner interface, you can just do that. Not every object is going to have these labels, so it just depends on what it is. The next one over here is going to be the play button. This will put you into the actual preview mode. So when you click over here, you can go ahead and start actually using the question, and then to go ahead and get back, you're going to click on exit. Okay. So over here, these are for the buttons around the left and on the top side. Now we're going to get over here to the tabs. So in here, if I click on an object and I hit this, if you mouse over, you'll see the common properties tab. So this is more technical. Anything that you do visually, you can essentially kind of modify it over here. But if you go over here, this is going to be more of the, let's see what this says, properties tab of the object. So different objects have different properties depending on what it is, but most of the time you'll be spending your time over here. And then over here is going to be the special objects tab. So this is where a lot of the manipulatives or the other type of objects that's going to have actual interaction or functionality or validation, they're going to be inside over here. Then over here in this image is going to be the actual objects that you want. So let's just go ahead and click on food. And if you want something, you can just take and just drag it in here and you can actually manipulate the size. So, and if you want, you can just go ahead and rotate however you want. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and click delete that. And then over here is going to be our prefabs. So anything that comes up on a prefab, you can just go ahead and click over here. And then this way you have this particular prefab or template, if you want to say, that you can start working from, so you don't have to create things from scratch. So I'm just going to delete all this over here for now. So a prefab essentially is a collection of objects that have been joined together to create a template. So this is going to be the editor overview, and I'll make separate videos that's going to dive into each of the special objects and dive a little bit deeper into certain areas in terms of the validation behavior, objects, uploading, things like that. So any questions, go ahead and reach out to us. Otherwise,